Skin smoothing is really important, particularly when we're older than teenagers. My friend Michelle here is, well, I'm not going to tell you her age. She used to be a swimsuit model and occasionally models for me as well. Take a look at her skin at 100%. You can see a lot of texture and yet pretty much flawless otherwise. Now, I have done the initial retouching, and again, you can see there's not much here to worry about. What I want to do is smooth her skin to lower the texture and yet still make her look realistic. To do that, I'm going to select the entire canvas. Select all. And let me zoom out so you can see what's going on. Next, I'm going to choose a filter that frankly was designed for film. It's called Dustin Scratches. And what it was built to do was eliminate the dust and the scratches when we scan film. And the way it works is the radius shows how much blur really there's going to be, and the threshold brings back the texture. So let's just go up to this skin area right here, and I'm going to bring it up fairly large. That's almost too much, particularly if we were Gaussian blurring it, it would be terrible. But with the threshold, let me just bring that up to almost an equal amount. And you can see some of the texture coming back. As I click on it with a hand tool, you can see how much is being eliminated. So I'm just going to go around and see what's what. And that's actually looking reasonably realistic. I could probably take the threshold up a little bit higher. Yeah, now I'm starting to get some of the texture, but without a lot of the detail. So let's take it back about halfway there. And it's a judgment call. That looks good. I'll click OK. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to go to the Edit menu, and I'm going to define this as a pattern. And a dialog box comes up with the name of the original file, and that's just fine. Click OK. Now I'm going to undo the Dustin Scratches. So from the History panel, I'll undo Dustin Scratches and then deselect. Now it looks like I haven't done anything at all. Zooming back into 100%, Command or Control 1, all of the detail is still there. And that's exactly what we want. I'm going to duplicate Retouch so you can see the difference. Normally I just go ahead and do this right on the Retouch layer. And we'll call this Retouch Dustin Scratches. Now, there are two ways to do this. If you're feeling conservative, the healing brush tool will work. Click on the pattern, hit the scroll button, and I've changed my view into large list right here. Normally it comes with small thumbnail, but I like large list. And then I'll just scroll down, and here's Michelle PSD. That's the one with the Dustin Scratches. So I'll choose that, and then click Align Sample and use Current Layer Only. Watch what happens with the healing brush. I can just come right over the skin and heal it. Now I'm going to undo this, Command Z, because there's another tool that will allow us to do that too. And before I get messed up, I'm going to go back to Sampled and unclick Align Sample. I always forget when I'm doing that, and it kind of messes you up when you're healing and something from some other picture comes in. So I'll use the Pattern Stamp tool. And again, I'm going to click Michelle PSD from the pattern. And Aligned is already checked because it's the Clone Stamp tool. And I'm just going to clone that Dustin Scratches pattern right over Michelle's skin, just like this. And this takes almost no time at all. But look at how smooth this technique makes her skin. Now, there's no preview to tell you where you've painted like there is with the layer mask. You just have to be careful with it. But look at how well that takes care of that texture. And where there's not much texture, it leaves it alone. But on the big areas, it's magic, and it's fast. There's no reason that you can't do this again with a little bit heavier Dustin Scratches for some of the more textured areas and apply it in different strengths by making different patterns. Now right there, I think that's too much. So Edit, Fade Pattern Stamp, and I'll pull this back just a little tiny bit. So from that to that, that looks better. And if I want more, I can always go back and do more. I'm going to undo that, Command or Control Z, and then come right along here. And I'll finish my trip around Michelle's face by going over her nose. So take a look. Before and after. So that's a really great skin smoothing technique that I use a lot using an old filter originally designed for getting rid of dust and scratches on scans of film.